So, this is SnowRunner. In last night's stream, I was showing off a little bit of Spin Tires, the first game in this, not really a series, but this um, thing that this developer does. That was followed by the game Mud Runner, and then SnowRunner here, and then also Roadcraft, which is a bit different. Interesting game. I can't think of anything else quite like it. Um, there are a series of regions which all have like four huge maps that are kind of interconnected. You start off in a little pickup truck that just kind of sucks. You'll almost immediately get that stuck in the mud. Actually, I think I have my little pickup truck in here somewhere. Yeah, there it is. This whole thing. Which, just to look at this really quick, can be customized in various ways. There are different engines for it. Different gearboxes that give you better performance in certain situations. Raise the suspension up. There is a wide variety of tires. And, you know, most of these have locks based on, well, in this case, the suspension, but like some also, you know, you just have to be a high enough level to unlock or find parts out in the wild somewhere. Then there's a winch that goes in the front to upgrade various ways. There's like 4-wheel drive and differential locks. There's putting a big snorkel on it so you can go partially underwater without the engine stopping. This particular pickup truck, you can add various things to the roof and bed to have like spare tires and parts and gas to bring to other trucks, basically. Can, you know, customize various little things you can barely see. Different rims on your tires. All kinds of different paint jobs, most of them just single colors. In some cases, there's some patterns for certain trucks, or this nonsense here. And if you are crazy enough to drive in first person, you can put little bobbleheads in the dashboard, hang stuff off the mirror, put little stickers on the dashboard or on the hood, and there are so many of these. They're mostly very truckery. Looks like she's saying truck in a graffiti type font. A little tribute to the Green Goblin truck in Maximum Overdrive there. This is a ton of these. It's really absurd. And I noticed last week when last time I thought I was figuring this, for some reason, a bunch of Warhammer ones in here. I don't know if there was some kind of really weird crossover at some point, but like, if you want to represent the fact that, you know, you are into this truck and you're into the Necrons, then that's an option. You can also have awful stuff on top of your windshield. And of course, you know, your hood ornaments. Mostly you will like never see when you're actually playing, but you know, it's an option. I want to just goes away. There it is. There are also a large number of other trucks in the game that you can acquire. Some of these are DLC. I think all of these are based on actual real-world vehicles that they got the licensing for somehow. Yeah, a lot of these are also just locked because I'm not high enough level. You also have to find some of them in the wild. But there's a lot. And they are... Actually, one more time is kind of like jerky, isn't it? They are divided into highway trucks, which have like really good gas mileage and otherwise kind of suck. Heavy trucks, which are generally really good, but you know, a lot. Off-road ones are, you know, better going off-road. Scouts are just like really, really good at getting anywhere, but they can't really carry anything. And then, you know, individual ones have like some weird quirks. Like if I were to go to the local map here, this is the first of several regions in this. There's several maps in this one region. I was messing around here last night with where did I put it? This hideously ugly customized thing with its pink paint job and weird little crane and mini bed in the back. Giant tires. But yeah, you just kind of take a truck. There's a wide variety of missions, which you find as you explore the world. I'm trying to see if I'm near any of these. That's an option. Or if I have the stuff for that on me on this one. Where's that? Doable. Okay, we'll go back there. I don't know if there's anything near where I am, but I can. It's all locked. Never mind. Those essentially are two. Is that, of course, thing I don't have. Okay, so. Let's see. No, I accept all logs. Don't want to go back that far. Okay, what I'm going to do now is just remember the controls. There's always the recover app, and you just like teleport back to your last garage. Also, if you watch these little side tanks here, if I take damage, the physics modeling in this is like so ridiculous that it will do things like It will do things like track the fuel in your fuel tanks as you burn it with like actual liquid physics simulation, how it's sloshing around and throwing your weight off accordingly. Um, Looks like that in low gear accidentally. But yeah, so going back to the map here. Now that I'm actually in this part of it. Let's see. I can grab some oil barrels, I suppose, from just right over there. Sure. You can set your own waypoints in the map, which is kind of nice. Also, just put it in the middle of your path, even. I'm out. Get out of here. I have not yet gotten to drive this particular truck. So you take your missions, you go out exploring. I don't remember the music aside from like little jiggles when you like finish missions successfully. It's just a lot of ambient sound. The region is really rough terrain in general. Meow. So let's see, I need some oil barrels. I can officially only hold the one, but I could just throw some on there too, and then using my green here. Meow. Oh, could you not be? Could you not? Make some room for you up here. Hey. Meh. Okay, there we go. As I was saying, using my crane here, I can check my baby, you're really in the way. I love you, but you're blocking my view. Let me see how this works. Yeah, got my handy little crane here. Grab that. Just lift it up. Really have the space back here, technically, but you know, I kind of do. I can kind of pinch it down like that, and off I go. There's a lot of interesting things to do when you just like are willing to just have horribly unbalanced, janky loads like this on your trucks. Anyway, where are they taking this to? Factory there, village along the way, and then farm over there. Okay. So, plot out a route here. I'm going to attempt to stick to major looking roads, which sometimes works out, sometimes doesn't. I think this one's reasonably stable. Some parts it might be kind of washed out or dilapidated or crumbling apart various ways, but we'll see. I can cut through here. I go this way. That should be fine. We'll see. Yeah, so as I was saying before, you start off with just this like pickup truck that kind of sucks. It's very, 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 very prone to getting stuck in the mud. And you explore around that until you get like a decent one that can actually haul things. And there's a little Metroidvania-ish as you're like, you know, finding different trucks and parts for your trucks and using them to do missions that will like restore bridges that were destroyed or get power lines off roads. Exploring the map, and there's this whole general theme of like, you know, every region of the game has been hit with some kind of horrible disaster. I think this one here was like an earthquake. The starting one was a big heat flood. An ice storm in Alaska, and these all like did various awful things to the ground. Once I get out of this halfway civilized part of this map into the real wilderness, we'll start to see the physics engine do its really impressive things. Wow. My cat will need to pay attention. Not a lot in the way of like actual properly paved roads. I do like seeing all these tooltips again because I haven't played in a while. But like the main thing this has going on is like very, very like soft body physics on the terrain itself. So if there's like a patch of mud in the ground and you drive through it, you'll like parts sink into it and like distort the area with your tires like kicking up the sides, like digging a trench. And that's not just cosmetic, it's actually like affecting the ground. So like going to the same place over and over again, you'll like dig ruts in it that you then like have a real problem dealing with in the future. And another thing we have going on that I can demonstrate a little here, I think, is we can hook on here. We have this little like hook shot winch that you can attach to various parts of your truck, or just use the quick one of just like put it on the front bumper, grab something that's in range, and pray. Let's see, can I demonstrate a bit over here? I'll look for this light pole. Or okay, no, light poles. Yeah, so you can see the little line there. I can haul myself towards that. You can also use that to like grab other vehicles and haul them along behind you, or have them haul you. You will often use that if you get stuck in a patch of mud or something to like snag a tree and hopefully pull yourself forward. Depending on, you know, like the weight of your truck and what you're carrying and the type of thing you're attached to, you might like uproot the tree that you're trying to use as an anchor point. I think this bridge I had to build myself. Yeah, aside from second them out, you can also like tip over if you're on a steep incline. You can just, you know, crash and stuff, take damage. Snow and ice have other like hazards as far as like how easily you'll just like get stuck in them or slide around, or just like lose all friction and launch into the air on an icy hill. When these things happen, there is that convenient, like, just, you know, go back to your garage thing, or you can just, like, take another one of your trucks, because you end up with quite a lot of them, and send it out on a little rescue mission. You'll notice down the lower left there, it's tracking the condition of my tires and gas and engine and gear shift, suspension. Those can all take damage separately. So it's like at certain advanced points, like you have, okay, here's my truck that I like have specially kitted out for this specific mission. I need the sun to come out so you can see the screws in the ground behind me here. And then maybe have some other like lighter weight one with a big fuel tank just to like come refuel the trucks that are running out of gas, or repair them, or you know, use their winches and cranes to try to like lift them out of situations they get stuck. So this is a bit less flat than I would like. I'm starting to tip over. Trust me by like digging through the dirt underneath here. Hopefully you can see this other light source. Or not. But yeah, since every map is like this disaster area, there's no people around, you can largely, you know, smash through various fences and whatnot that happen in your way. Without getting a penalty. Okay, so now you can hopefully see some of this. Yeah, that's not just like a decon before, it's like actually distorting the mud. You know, take damage, you can see like there's my fuel sloshing around. Yeah, through here. It's a very like chill, relaxing game, for the most part. At least until you get something like a really horrible situation where you're like tumbling down the side of a mountain and like looking onto things, desperately trying to like stay steady and falling into sinkholes and whatnot. No other people unless you play multiplayer, in which case you can have like a whole, you know, team of people in their own trucks doing stuff. Sometimes in more wildernessy areas there are like animals visible just as like eyes just abstractly floating in the tree line, and then like coyotes or whatever just appearing in the road ahead of you and disappearing as you get closer. Yeah, very chill, very atmospheric. Vaguely Metroidvania-ish in the structure of things, as far as like finding this upgrade, now get to this area safely and do this thing. Pretty open-ended of how you can approach a lot of things. Again, I'm currently hauling like twice as much as this truck is really designed to be able to by just having one loose on the crane there. I could push that further and like stack that up and then just like, you know, try to drive on very, very stable roads with another one stacked up on top of it. Get all 4 pallets of oil barrels ready to go out to your stations here. So there's like 3 big old regions in the main game itself. This is a problem. This is me at like a 45-degree angle, so I wasn't paying attention. This is what the winch is for. Let's see. There's something over there apparently. don't think this will be real, but oh, there it is. It was. There's me uprooting that was really attached there. That's no good. What if? So I take my like rear axle here, get to this telephone pole. Making this worse. Making much worse. Haven't quite stalled out yet though. Okay, I have another plan. And if I take my crane, I should be able to push down. Do a little push up here. Yeah, now I can turn into the skid somewhat. This really. A little bit more stable. Now I should be able to swing around this way. Use it as kind of a balance beam. Okay, on this side of the road is the grass. Much more stable, okay. Ish. Repack that because it got kind of loose. Pick that back up. Okay. That'll do. That's my delivery route. So the tree just like stuck through my wheels, honestly. Well, shake it loose eventually. It is what they need to do, because like this looks like a fairly real road, but it's half flooded out. Got a lot of mass here, so you know things happen. Where did I take these again? I'll be tracking this. Okay, it's basically here. I'll actually mark where specifically it's going, shouldn't I? just because I want to do these in order. Fun. Just drop that there. Did I need 2 for the factory anyway? I did. I did. Okay. Never mind. Back up. Good enough. Back on the road here, such as it is. We're actually going over here. So, okay. Probably back up more and get like a then. Maybe. Yeah, okay, let's go into a swamp here and you can try to use this, we'll generously call it bridge. If I want to play in first person as well. Didn't really want to. Simple challenges like forcing you to do it just for like some arcadey situation. Yeah, so serious. There's like Michigan, which is flooded. There's Alaska, which is, you know, just a frozen hellscape, and then there's this chunk of Russia that is racing into horrible landslides. And then there's like 14 DLC packs that all add another like big, huge region and associated like giant pile of missions, new trucks, and stuff like that. Really, they just like impaled on that tree, didn't I? It's fine. He's a character. So what is the destination of this? Oh, I have to actually take the mission. That helps. An oil barrel. Properly. That would do. There we go. So that's the first couple steps of that mission done. You just stop this engine, go back to the map for a second, show off the other regions real quick. So yeah, the basic game is these three. And then this is all DLC, some of which I got when I got this. There's a lot of it. All generally pretty big areas. And let's see, where did I have other things going on right now? I'm trying to remember where the actual starting area was here too. Supposed to see if I have any trucks lying around. I do. Okay. How's this one going? Just show off some map variety and vehicle variety. Yeah, so this one had a big, huge flatbed attached to because I was doing some very large transporting of something. That's right. Also, there is the Alaskan maps, which, let's see. I don't think I have anything lying around here, but just pull a truck out and just go dry riding for a bit. And yeah, on normal difficulty, like, gas is free, repairs are free, etc. There are options to make that all cost money. There's a fixed amount in the game, and then it would become a much, much, much more stressful experience. Let's see. I'll take out this one that I was talking about before, the little, like, start of the game truck, sure. Much speedier, zippier little thing. I don't think I've really upgraded it much at all, if at all. Light snow here, not really much of an issue. It's very icy, so I'm kind of sliding around a lot. I don't really want to like risk overwriting my whole game to show like the actual start of things, but yeah, this happens early on. You have a like truck that's not super great for what you're doing with it, or you start getting like buried in the mud and snow. Sometimes you can just kind of, you know, power through it. Sometimes you can't. Sometimes you gotta, like, winch stomp something and haul yourself out. Let's see where we're going. Perhaps to one of the other maps in here, if I can get there. Show off some of the other terrain stuff. It must just like really impressive physics engine, and just, you know, interesting challenges of like, well, this looks like a pretty straightforward road, but oh, okay, this is actually like totally washed out or collapsed or flooded in some way. Have to like find alternate routes, maybe going just like, you know, totally off the road and like through a tree line because it's easier, or just dipping into a river that's fairly shallow in a spot. It's fine. And then again, there's a lot of stuff where you can like clear out debris from roads and make them suddenly accessible, or repair a bridge. Okay, this can't handle these loose rocks at all, can it? No. Look at this. Like, I was pretty badly stuck on that one there, actually. What if I do this? Aha! That's much better demonstration how that works. The winch can get you through a lot of problems. Means they have like no real grip on this road here. I'll just slide and spin it like crazy if I'm not careful. It's also interesting, like, there's no option to get out of your truck. Like, You can find new ones and switch into them, like some kind of hermit crab. But like those feet are not for walking, just for hitting pedals. And another Transformers Streams games a lot. KC Explosion kind of just like turned me on to this one. Was showing off the multiplayer. If you have a crane, you can just like go up to other trucks and give them little pats on the head. It's very important. It's not an actual game mechanic, to be clear. Just you see anything you can do. Climb. But yeah, so it's an interesting game. Unfortunately, I've like already done most of the missions on these early maps, and I just don't want to like risk losing my save by starting from scratch. But you know, it's a thing. And there's stuff where you can just like just load up trailers with supplies you need for a mission, or repair packs, or just like get fuel tankers on there. Oh, let's see. Yeah, so here I think all the major bridges like aren't there at first. You have to like bring in some steel and wood and all that to rebuild them. It's a very, very pretty game to look at, too, when the sun's actually out. It's nice stretches of wilderness. A little plucky guitar. And whatever weird truck situation you have as you're exploring around. Yeah, so the icy regions, the main has built is... The roads are actually quite clear, but you're going to like constantly be building up way too much momentum and launching yourself, essentially. Which can be fun. There's some mission back there. I've already accepted it, or put it on the list anyway. Yeah, I'm kind of good enough right now. But you can get really creative, too, just like stacking more that the trailers didn't belong on there and whatnot, or like loading up one truck, hooking your winch to it, with another one, and just like pulling along a whole caravan like a train, essentially. Get where you need to get. This is over here. And yeah, you also find like various things like, like this that I just found. Which are often used by some missions, or just available to use for whatever various purposes you have, or just like total vehicles in the middle of nowhere that you can like raid parts out of to get like higher suspension for this type of vehicle, etc. There's like a lot to do. I just looked at that right now because I've already done most of it on this save file, but yeah, I'm just going off to this snowdrift to demonstrate that it's pretty well simulated, and that does leave an actual like gash through the snow there until the map reloads. Yeah, eventually as you go on, you go from like, I can't do anything with this truck here, what can upgrade to make it functional to just like having this weird little specialized ecosystem of a bunch of for different tasks. Oops. Then you just kind of drift along and do stuff, make things slightly more travelable. And then the most recent game in the sort of series is called Roadcraft, and the deal with that one is like things are even more destroyed than they are in this, and you just have like you go to like haul around sand and like asphalt pourers and just like build your own roads just from raw physics toy stuff, trying to get to the point where it's just possible for NPC cars to actually drive along them without flipping out, which is interesting to do with the business model they have. Okay, of course, come over here and cut that off. Yeah, like gas is a real concern in some places too. So there's bullet maps don't have any gas stations on them. You have to like bring in your own fuel tankers from elsewhere and set up supply lines. And the last message is like most of the actual roads are like usable, just frozen over, so you're sliding around constantly, but like you're not getting stuck. Most of the rest of the game, that is not the case. It's mostly a road, and then you go to turn, and so like this happens. So it's of course an intentional demonstration. Shallow enough that I can actually get out of it. A lot of it involve like, here is some truck just like flat out stuck in a swamp. They need to like somehow manage to extract, and the mass of it is just like fighting you versus what you're driving. In the early game especially, like you wind up sinking into stuff so often. Here's a full-on frozen lake where, go skiing. Or skating, rather. Oh no, this one really does not like these rocks, that's right. I'm worried about that. Yeah. I think I was describing it to someone as like, it's like the Swamp of Sadness scene in the Neverending Story. Just replace the horse with a series of trucks, because you can get really, really, really into some awful situations. But anyway, let me just cover this, and stash it away. Exit this game and take a slight break before